This weekend, a lot of uncertainty regarding the tropics. 2 cones covering Louisiana for 2 separate storm systems, and we could see a tropical storm and or a hurricane Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So be ready for that and stay apprised of the weather situation throughout the weekend. As we know, we're going to see changes to the forecast, but we'll give it our best shot right here, right now. So let's take a look at the big picture, taking a look at the water vapor imagery. We have this upper level low that has really dug down into the western Gulf of Mexico. It's been dominating our pattern, keeping rain chances somewhat at bay, and is got shear going across portions of the Yucatan on northward. But this whole feature is expected to weaken and lift out with time, opening up the door for tropical depression number 14 to get into the Gulf of Mexico and then maybe make a run to the north and west. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Meanwhile, locally, not a whole lot going on with the shower activity. It's been more active over eastern Louisiana as expected. Few isolated cells showing up, mainly across Rapides Parish, so rain chances no better than 10% through the early evening hours. And we see on the satellite imagery there were a little bit more in the way of storms and some water spouts, by the way, over toward the upper Texas coast this afternoon. Certainly busier into the eastern Gulf of Mexico with that upper level low. And then we have our depression down here in the western Caribbean, and then a tropical storm in the eastern Caribbean. This is Tropical Storm Laura impacting the northeastern Caribbean with tropical storm conditions. That's rain and wind gusts over 39 in spots. And then you get back into the western part of the Caribbean. Hurricane Hunter's en route to see if this is getting any better organized. Right now, we say no. I don't think this is going to be upgraded to a tropical storm at 7 p.m., but more than likely perhaps 10 p.m. We'll have to wait and see. It's moving to the northwest already, and the center's been repositioned, and now that means it's just going to barely clip the Yucatan. So whatever gets going north of the Yucatan is going to have an opportunity to become a hurricane and at least a Category 1 storm. And the latest forecast track here, shifting to the west with the GFS and the European model. Main impacts toward Texas, but we will get some sort of elevated tides and tropical showers with this system. And then fast on its heels, we're going to see Tropical Storm Laura. It's going to be interacting with the islands in the Caribbean. So hopefully it gets torn apart here. We don't want to wish it on anybody else, but whatever emerges through the Straits of Florida and the southeastern Gulf of Mexico will have opportunity, ample opportunity, not only to become a hurricane, but maybe something stronger than a Cat 1. And now the forecast track is shifting back to the west in deference to the models and the other storm system coming back to the west. So that permits this one to come farther to the west. So we may have more impacts here locally with Laura than potentially Marco. So this is the forecast storm wind probabilities, but I have the cones drawn on here. 2 cones impacting Louisiana. Have never seen that as long as the National Hurricane Center has been drawing those cones. And then we have the risk of tropical storm force winds in the pretty healthy category just offshore. So that's combined with these 2 tropical systems. The risk of tropical storm force winds could be on the increase. Exactly what we can't tell you quite yet because the models are all over the place and these storms are still in the incipient stage. They're just developing. But here's the European model today, and this is why the Hurricane Center shifted the forecast track to the west. Has this as a tropical storm come Monday, making landfall maybe closer toward the mid-Texas coast. But again, this is one model. It's not ground truth, and we can't set this in stone. And then here comes Laura as a respectable tropical storm or hurricane, making landfall awfully close to Acadiana. This does mean rain and wind for us going into Wednesday. So we got to see how this is going to play out. So potential tropical threats. What can we say for right now? Well, tides are going to elevate along the coast 2 to 3 feet or more beginning Monday, and they're going to stay elevated through Wednesday, maybe Thursday. So that's the minimum right now. Flooding rainfall too early to call, but the most for any accurate amounts, but we could see several inches of rain. I'm going to show you some rain output tonight at 10. Wind damage, tough call. Maybe some Marco wind possible, but yeah, I have this as a marginal risk. Higher wind threat perhaps with Laura coming into Wednesday. And again, it's tough to call on if there's going to be any tornadic activity. It depends on the track of both of the storm systems. But for now, we know it's going to be quiet next couple of days. And then Monday, rain chances pick up. Tropical showers and storms coming in. Tuesday might have a little wind going on. Wednesday, I think we get the bigger impacts with Laura. We'll see how this plays out. And then rain chances gradually toning down as we head toward the weekend. That's it for weather right now. Now back over to Jim.
Okay, thanks, Rob.